What a victory.
How about those Devils? How about those Devils? How about those Devils? How about those Devils?
How about those Devils? Welcome back, Devils fans. It is your host, Ace, here on Running with the Devils, where we are talking New Jersey Devils hockey all year long. Please hit that subscribe button, smash the like, share with a friend. Thank you very much. And the New Jersey Devils this afternoon back in action at the Rock, riding high off the overtime victory the other night over the Montreal Canadiens, looking to take out Sid and Gino and the rest of the Pittsburgh Penguins. And your New Jersey Devils, my New Jersey Devils, our beloved New Jersey Devils, win a game which they, by many metrics, probably did not deserve to win. Let's be honest. But the Devils found a way and defeat the Penguins by a score of 2-1 in the shootout. And wow, I just got home from the game a mere seconds ago. Raced into the studio in true fashion. I'm a little winded. I'm a little tired. I'm a little stuffed full of food. But our New Jersey Devils are 7-0 on home ice, my friends. 7-0, including 3 consecutive, 2 overtimes in a shootout. 2 overtime victories in a shootout. I mean, what can you say? But obviously, I must ask, I must know.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained? Unbeaten on home ice in almost mid-November. Wow. We just got to get to the game here. This is just, what an afternoon at the Rock. I am fired up. First period, late in the period, an amazing single-handed effort here. Gritsyuk getting in on the forecheck, picks off a Pittsburgh pass and is in all alone and just finishes beautifully. What a play by Arseni Gritsyuk. I truly believe this young man is going to be an absolute beast for years to come for the New Jersey Devils. Gets his 3rd of the season unassisted at 19-12, gives the Devils the 1-0 lead, and what a finish. Fired up. What a beautiful finish for Grits. The sky is the limit for this kid. I do think, as his career progresses, we will see more of a top 6 role for him regularly, and he's going to be lethal, guys. Absolutely lethal, and I always forget. Win or lose, we booze. I'm sticking with the surf side. I re-upped. This was, which one's this? The iced tea and vodka, because victory drinks taste so much better than loser beverages. Cheers to all of you guys. Wow. When it hits your lips, whoo! Up 1-0 after 1. We get to the second, and of course, a former New Jersey Devil must score at the Rock. It is, at this point, just one of these weird laws that happens. Defenseman Ryan Graves, one of the flukiest goals in a long time. I have to watch the slow-mo replay. I think it hit off Palat or something, but Graves shoots one, and it takes a really weird redirect. It's in the back of the net. Allen had no idea where it was. Pretty much an unstoppable shot. Ridiculous misfortune for the Devils. Graves' first of the season ties it up at 1. That is how the second period would end. We head to the third, tied up at 1, and the third period was, the Devils had some chances. The Penguins had some chances. Obviously, Jake Allen sharp throughout the entire game. Looked like he was seeing everything pretty well, gobbling up loose pucks. No big, juicy rebounds. Every time a puck was in the crease, it seemed like he grabbed it real quick. Shots like off his chest, he was grabbing with the glove. Very active. Jake Allen looked dialed in early on and pretty much stayed that way throughout the game. Obviously, that beautiful poke check move in the overtime. And my God, how insane would that Jack last blast at the buzzer would have been if that went in? I think, was it Nemitz? I think Nemitz laid out and like did a crazy full extension poke check, which sent Jack on a semi breakaway the other way. And he ripped the slapper like right at the buzzer. That would have been completely bananas if that had went in. Unfortunately, it didn't. But we go to the shootout, and what do you know? Shootout specialist Paulie Cotter is number 1 to go for the Devils. He just comes on in with a little bit of speed, throws a bunch of head fakes, several dekes, and beats Shelovs to give the Devils the 1-0 lead in the shootout. Rust up for the Pens, stoned by Jake Allen, and then Jesper Bratt up. And Bratter does a similar kind of move. Comes in, does a bunch of dekes, scores, and then leaves Sidney Crosby in a must-score situation to extend the game. And he, I think, got in a little too tight, went a little too slow, and Jake Allen was up to the task. Stones him to preserve the win. And what a game for Allen. What a game for this team. I am just beyond fired up for what was not the prettiest game again, but a win is a win. 2 points, a big division game, and you got to find ways to win, even when you don't have your A-plus game. The Devils certainly didn't look like they had it tonight. I did think the Penguins were kind of bullying us a little bit. They just seemed like a much heavier, they're just playing bully puck, it seemed. The Devils got pinned in their own end a lot. We were losing a lot of one-on-one battles, but, there's going to be nights like that. And again, once again, this team finds a way to win despite all of that. We go to the game stats. Penguins, 34 shots on goal, 24 for the Devils. Devils whipping them up in the faceoff department here. Penguins, 41.8% to the Devils, 58.2%. Pens go 0 for 1 on the power play. Devils go 0 for 2 on the power play. Pens with 19 hits, Devils with 22 hits. Pens with 14 block shots, the Devils with 22 block shots. Penguins, 13 giveaways, Devils, 11 giveaways. And the Penguins with 3 giveaways, takeaways rather. Penguins, 3 takeaways, Devils with 6 takeaways. That is your tail of the tape from the game. And we get to the 3 stars. The third star with a goal, number 81, Arseni Gritsyuk. And this kid, lots of 81 jerseys popping up at the Rock. I've seen them. They're popping up little by little. We're going to see a lot of 81s in the stands at the Rock over the next several seasons. And well-deserved from Grits. I mean, just such an exciting young player to watch. Second star, Shelovs, played really well. I thought the Devils could have potentially won by a couple goals in regulation if he didn't make some big stops. But he gets the second star. And the first star from the Devils, number 34, Jake the Snake Allen. What a game for Jake the Snake. Needed it. Coming off a couple somewhat shaky-ish performances. He was rock solid for the Devils early on in the season, obviously, when Markey went down. A couple less than stellar starts, and he gets back in there tonight at the Rock and just does the damn thing. Coming up huge for the Devils in this one on a night where they didn't have a lot of offense going. And once again, you got to find ways to win all kinds of ways, and the Devils found another one tonight. Game stats. Let's see if there's anything interesting in here. Cody Glass, 3 shots and a block. Nicohischier with 3 blocks. Palat with 4 blocks and 4 hits. I got to give it up for Pally. 4 blocks and 4 hits. That's a nice little stat line. Timo Meier with 6 shots and 2 hits. Wow. Paulie Cotter, 7 hits. Looks like a game high, or at least for the Devils. Brader was kind of quiet in regulation. Grits with the goal. Lemico with a shot, 3 blocks. Jack Hughes with 5 shots. Dawson Mercer, 2 shots. Dilly, 5 blocks and 4 hits. And one of them was a monster hit in that first period. What a shit from Dilly. Very reminiscent to me of, it was either his first or second game as a Devil. I can't remember. But against Buffalo in the Global Series, he absolutely crushed Peterka last year, laid Peterka out, and then Alex Tuck came over and wanted to fight him, and then Dilly fought him immediately after. This was very much the same thing. Dilly crushes a Penguin, and I forget who it was, jumped off the bench, essentially. I don't know if it was a regular change or if he just jumped on to fight. I don't even know, but they immediately scrap, and a decent scrap. Give Dilly the solid nod. It wasn't, a completely lopsided beatdown, but what a game for Dilly. What a sequence of events there. Monster hit and finishes it off with the fisticuffs. 5 blocks and 4 hits on the night for Dilly. You guys know I love Dilly. He's a throwback warrior. Shimo Nemitz with a block. Luke, 2 shots and a block for Luke. Siegs with 3 blocks and a hit. And Jake Allen, the story of the game. 33 saves on 34 shots and another stellar start for Jake Allen. But what a game. The New Jersey Devils, guys, 7-0 on home ice, and it feels good. It absolutely feels good. Oh, we see David. Thank you for the super, David. Jake the Snake, and Grits, Cotter, and Brader, too. Yeah, Grits with the regulation goal. Cotter and Brader finishing it off in the shootout session. And Jake the Snake, huge in the game in regulation, huge in overtime, and huge in the shootout, shutting the Penguins down entirely. What a game, but thank you for the super, David. Really appreciate it. Fire Thruster, thank you for the super. Let's go, Devils. Loving Grits so far. They should try him on the first line already. I think everyone loves Grits, Fire Thruster. There's not much not to like. Before he came over here, we were hearing a lot about how he has a quick release, a great shot, pure goal scorer, but then pretty quickly in the preseason and early on in the regular season, we saw that he is very efficient in setting other guys up. Some nice hands for some great passes. It looks like he has a pretty good hockey IQ, has a sense of where guys are going to be, where he should be. And the sky is the limit. I think he is going to continue to get better and better as the season progresses and obviously as his career progresses. But Grits, he's definitely a top 6 talent. I've said this for a few weeks now. I forget what game it was, but there was one game where I was just completely sold. And, we've been talking about it since the preseason, but I forget. It was an early season game. I said, I'm now sold that Grits is a legitimate top 6 player. Whether that is where he would best suit the team at this time remains to be seen. I have talked about time and again that I do think having Grits in that bottom 6 really is kind of the engine that keeps that thing running. And we all know we do want that nice balanced scoring. We don't want the bottom 6 to be a black hole like it was last season. And I do fear that if Grits was permanently in the top 6, we might see the bottom 6 get a little stagnant, but it's definitely worth experimenting. I am down to experiment with everything. Try it out, see how it goes, and reassess. And we probably will see it at some point, I'd imagine. But Grits, obviously, first taste of overtime, I believe. I don't think he's ever taken a shift in overtime yet. We saw that tonight. He had a little rush. I think he may have shot it wide. But with the extra time and space in the overtime session, he should be a lethal player in the mix with all the other lethal guys. We have the top-end talent that we have in the overtime, 3-on-3. All right, so now we get to the comments, guys. Shout out to Nicole and James, by the way, longtime viewers. I saw them in the hallway. I met a couple other people throughout the afternoon outside in the concourse. Today, I went to the first time in a very long time that I was in the restaurant lounge. I took a bunch of video. I don't know if I'll do a vlog or not. There's a whole bunch of stuff kind of going on with me behind the scenes here, but the restaurant is pretty cool, I will say. I haven't been in there in years, and it was a good time. All right, let me get to the comments here now. See what you fine folks are talking about. Probably very, very chatty. Big New Jersey Devils wins typically make you a very chatty bunch. And on the flip side, obviously, we've talked about the loss. The losses have the same effect. But I much rather deal with the chattiness of those celebrating than the doomers. And let's see. Let's see if there's any doomers here today. We're going to find out. That West Coast trip was pretty brutal in terms of some of the people coming out of the woodwork to talk smack on this team. But standing, let's see, is this updated? Let me take a look. What do you know? Our New Jersey Devils back at the #1 spot in the entire national with a beautiful 11-4 record, 22 points. You absolutely love to see it. Playing .733 percentage hockey. Wow. If it wasn't for that West Coast road trip from hell, we would be just completely ridiculous. We'd be in a completely ridiculous stratosphere of starts. But listen, it's a long season. There's going to be peaks and valleys. It's not all going to be sunshines and rainbows. And sometimes there's going to be ugly games. There's going to be ugly stretches of games. And you just got to hope we see the B+ or A version of the Devils on more nights than not. And this team is different. And as they talked about on the broadcast, Bryce Alvador has said it many games this season. He was like, this is a game that the Devils wouldn't have gotten any points last year. And it's true. Not only are they getting a point, they're finding ways to win. They're finding ways to win on nights where you're just like, this is not looking like a great team, but it doesn't matter. They find ways to win. And you need that. You absolutely need that if you want to go on a deep run. And like I've said since pretty early on in this season, I do believe this team is very, very different from last season. Sean says our schedule should be getting easier now. We got Islanders and Chicago coming up. I'm not going to, you guys know how I feel about some of these games where, people look and say, oh, that's an easy win. There is no easy wins in this league. Any team is capable of beating any other team. On paper, it certainly seems like easier matchups, but in the end, you've seen our struggles with some of these quote-unquote bad teams over the last few seasons, and so I'm not looking past anyone, but looking forward to the Monday night matchup with the Islanders, and hopefully the Devils can continue on with a win there. They would be out a 3-game winning streak, which would be nice, and could extend it to 8-0 at home. I would love to see it. How I got here, Jeremy Proper says, stole another one. Wow. It didn't, can we call that a steal? I don't know. It's teetering for sure. I can't say it's definitively a steal, but I also can't say that it's definitely not one. It's probably pretty close to a steal, but I do feel like the Devils were way more outplayed in LA against the Kings When Markey stole that one. Let me see something. Let's take a look. Strike Eagle Trucker says, I didn't get to see, but listen on XM was great. Is that who calls the game on XMs? I'm not familiar. Jared, what's going on? Jake the Snake Allen was great in this game. 7-0 at home. Let's keep this train rolling. Let's go Devils. Yeah, 7-0 at home is no joke. Home ice, guys. Want to be a great team on home ice. Obviously huge for the playoffs. Would love to see the Devils finish as high as possible in the standings and have home ice in the playoffs. And hopefully they just continue their winning ways in Newark. It would be phenomenal. Jake the Snake. Love to see it. Strike Eagle Trucker says we'll be there Monday night for the game. Very cool. Sean, how long do you think this home ice streak will continue? I'd like to see it at least last a couple more. Would be nice. Let me see. Let me just check my notes. I had very minimal notes. Timo was freed. Free Timo. Timo back on power play 1. Love to see it. A lot of us have talked about that fairly extensively over the past however long. Timo was out there on power play 1. Hopefully we see that trend continue. Dan Ace with a game, 7-game undefeated at home. Yeah, let's go for 8 Monday night against the Isles. 8 in a row would be whew. And I'm curious if we're going to see Allen or Markey in that one. I mean, I would think Markey, but who knows? Robbie's bench toss says no right side D, no problem. Yeah, obviously referring to Kovacevic, Pesci, and Dougie Hamilton all out with injury. Completely ridiculous. And there was a scare in this one. It looked like Nico potentially got hurt at one point. Timo limped off the ice. I mean, what a just horrific injury curse that is plaguing this team right now. Nicole, what's going on? Wasn't our best game, but it was a beautiful, beautiful win. We'll take it. I will take 2 points any way they come, Nicole. We got some bonus hockey. We got a 5-minute overtime. We got a shootout, and we go home with 2 points. It would have been nice to win in regulation and not give the Penguins anything, but I will certainly not complain with a shootout victory over Sid and the Pens. Jordan says, have to get his jersey right now. Whose jersey? Is that Grits? Strike Eagle, Grits. Jordan says he's the man. He has some filthy goals. I've been going back watching his KHL games. Yeah, a lot of people have been talking about him for quite some time, and he's finally here. And as advertised, if not better. Guinness all day, every day. I'm not a Guinness guy. I'm just gonna Surfside. Cheers to all of you. What a great afternoon at the Rock. Brennan Plays says, funnily enough, Graves' goal was not one of the flukiest in a long time. A flukier one happened just one game ago. They're comparable, but yeah, that one that went past Markey was pretty crazy too. 13th child. I have to call my cardiologist after that overtime. Honky Lips is like, caught a puck, fist bump Chico, saw a great game. That sounds like quite the hat trick for you there, Honky Lips. You got a puck, you fist bumped Chico, and you were at the shootout thriller. Did you catch the puck during warmups or during the game? I'm very curious. Dire Wolf says Nemitz was huge today. Going to need him and Seeks to hold it down. Ballsy win. Yeah, everyone on D is going to have to step up. I was pretty nervous about the White-Chalowski pairing. They didn't play a ton, obviously, but they did not really stick out in a bad way. It seemed like during a lot of the game, whoever was out there, it seemed like we were just getting pinned in our, just pinned deep in our own zone quite often. And they just really look like a big, heavy team. Malkin is a monster. My God. How I got here, Jeremy Proper, it seems as if it is not only former Devils scoring us at home, but their first two. Yeah, first of the season. I mean, it's not too late into the season, but I think we've seen some guys like late into the season get their first of the season against the Devils. It is what it is. Zach says Dilly is continuously making a bid to be my favorite player on this roster. It's hard for me to ever pick one, but he's been in the group of my favorites for eternity. Pretty much since he's been here. Total throwback warrior. How can you not like Dilly? Hits, fights, back-to-back game-winning goals a few weeks ago. 13 Shouts says, love Dilly. Pro Bowl forever. This was a good win. Yo Holmes says, victory cigar time. Very nice. Is that proper beers? Ryan Demand, what's going on? What a win. Zach, this is a game the 24-25 team loses. I 100% agree. This team seems way more resilient, way more battle-tested. And again, we're still without a ton of guys. I mean, I want to know what the hell happened to Connor Brown. I need to know what the hell happened to Connor Brown. No one even knew he got hurt in that game. And then at practice, it was like, oh, Connor Brown's not here, but he should be good to go. And then he missed the first game, and then he missed the second game. I think he's missed, 4 games now? Maybe 5? Completely insane. Yo Holmes says, who's going Monday? I got a crew going. Brendan, one thing I noticed is we won most of the faceoffs, but immediately lost possession after the faceoff win. I feel like that kind of happens a lot, and I'm curious how they count who wins the faceoff, right? It's like, is it whatever team ends up with the puck? Is it whatever guy pulls it back, but then if the other team grabs it, does he still win the faceoff? Like, I am very curious to know how exactly those are counted. Robbie's bench toss, thank God number 13 came back after getting hit in the head with that puck. I was worried about a concussion with his history. That would have been brutal. When I saw him go down the tunnel, I was just like, oh my God. Another just complete calamity. Losing Nico, obviously, for any period of time would be an absolute travesty, especially given all the other injuries we're dealing with at the time. Oh, and hold on, I got to put this in here before I get. The Mike Peluso. This was something I teased for a while. The Mike Peluso, 1995 Stanley Cup champion, absolute legend. 1/3 of the Crash Line. His interview is premiering today at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I just put the link in the description. I will be in the chat during that. Hope to see some of you guys there for that. Any longtime fans know what a just larger-than-life figure Mike Peluso was for the Devils while he was here, and a huge part of that 95 Cup team. The Crash Line with Randy McKay, Bobby Holik. I mean, wow, what an era. If you were lucky enough to be a fan during that. Antonino, imagine if we were healthy. Also, Luke, too many turnovers. Yeah, I mean, listen, but he has the puck on his stick a lot. You're going to get that. But also, he's only 22 years old. 22 years old. Got a lot of maturing to do. How I got here, Jeremy Proper. Jake, 33 of 34, 971 save percentage. Love to see it. Nicole, I was worried about Nico and Plot. His face shots look like they hurt. Yeah, you don't. That's one thing at the game you miss kind of. Even when they show it on the screen, it's not the same as like seeing like with injuries and weird things. You don't always get as good of a handle on what happened as you do at home, obviously, when they show the slow-mo and they're talking about it. When you're at the arena, you're like, you try to watch it on the big board. Sometimes they show different angles or whatever. But I texted my buddy, and he was like, hopefully he comes back. But he got like hit in the face or whatever. Terrible. Yo, Holmes. When Nico left the game, my heart stopped. Yeah, I thought I witnessed yet another injury live, which would have been horrible. NJ Swamp Fox, True Grits is the real deal. Snow Devil Dilly seems like a really great leader for the D, really helping carry us through these injuries. Devils now 11-4-0 on the season, says Ryan Demand. Robbie's bench toss. Ace, you should make your 3 stars call for your PA audition. It sounded pretty good. Yeah, thanks. I'll let Adam handle that. By the way, super cool dude. I had a brief little decent conversation with Adam Hanway a couple weeks ago during my brief media credential career. Very brief career it was, but talk to Adam, really cool guy. Might do something. I was thinking of a couple different things I'd like to do with him, but maybe, we'll see something with him in the not too distant future. How I got here, Jeremy Proper, when Chief Keef gives Grits regular first line minutes. Oh boy. I mean, it's probably going to happen eventually. And we'll see, but I do fear that him coming out of the bottom 6 will kind of dry that bottom 6 up. But there's so many freaking guys injured right now that it's hard to say. Like when all these other guys are back, maybe the bottom 6 will continue on, even if Grits is not in it. So we will see. Nicole, it was great finally running into it at Game Ace. Yeah, it was great to meet you guys. I was so fired up. That was early on in the day. I had some things I had to work through, Nicole. But great seeing you guys. Hope you had a good time and enjoyed that food in the club. Yo, Holmes, undrafted Dylan. Yeah, what a legend. Coming up on 1,000 games, man. Dilly is just a throwback warrior. I've had a couple conversations with him. Really nice guy and just an absolute killer on the ice. You'd love to see it. Zach, I'm a big Dylan fan. He'll love to see him light someone up. I love to mention Dilly was undrafted and made it on Pure Lunch Pale Hard Hat. Yeah, amazing. Completely amazing. Chazzy Chaz, what's going on? Who's pumped for Mike Peluso? Yeah, I referenced that before. Link is pinned in the chat. The Mike Peluso interview premiering at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. A couple hours away, 2 hours and 12 minutes. Brendan, rough game, but Nemitz and Dilly both stood out really well today. Dilly is just, people were down on him, I think, last year. I don't know. The chart folks. You know, the chart folks want to pull out their charts and this and that. I don't care. I never cared about it. I do think they have some practical usages, but in the end, no charts were going to convince me, even at any point last year, that Brendan Dillon wasn't a good guy to have on your hockey club. I'm sorry. Cody Skills, my question is, who will start in net Monday? Hey, that's a good one. I talked about this before. I want to say I think it'll be Markey, but I could see it going either way. I don't know. Again, the state of goaltending in 2025, completely different animal than historically. Blackatron, second period was ugly. Good to see Dilly Layeth to smack it down on Jabronis. Palat helped tie it up in the second. We got the formula to come out with 2 points and shootouts going forward for sure. I got to skip ahead here, guys. Tito says, is Markey still our number one goalie? I think so, but again, even, you know, number one goalies on a lot of teams don't get that many more starts than the other guy. So we will see. But that is the beauty of having two veteran solid goalies, is that, you know, if one's struggling or injury or anything, you're kind of insulated. You have two guys you can count on. And truth be told, I've already told you guys this. You know how I feel about Dawes. I think we have three NHL-capable goaltenders. Now, I wouldn't want Nico Dawes to be the number one guy for like a very long time. But if he had to be for a week or two or play a game here or a couple games there, I'm fully confident with a healthy defense that Dawes is capable of winning NHL games for this club. And we saw him do it a few weeks back against, I think it was the Wild, that he had a very solid start. David Chimes, fantastic goaltending both ends. Love edge of the seat games like this. Undefeated in our house. Bring on the Islanders. Forget the road trip. Boys digging in and always find ways to win. That certainly is true. Devils Dan says, let's go Devils. Ryan Demand, Devils are first in the NHL with 20 points. Let's go. Well, what's going on? I must say I was entertained. I had my Gritsyuk jersey on and went through the roof with the goal. Stripping Letang and getting that shot off was chef's kiss. He's developing really well. Evan, what's up, Ace? Let's go, bud. Devils to the ship. I mean, let's not get carried away, but I want to be drinking beers with you folks on Championship Plaza in June. Come on. We're so far away, but I do think this team, it smells like a contender to me. It's still early, but they certainly smell like a contender. Strike Eagle Trucker, let's make it 8-0 on Monday when I'm off here. Tito said they had a playoff game vibe. Brian says Allen's the backup. Yo, Snand, you seemed like you were in a rush during pregame. What do you mean? What is that? I don't even know what that means. I'm not even sure what that means. David, where are the Doomers who thought one road trip would sink our compete? In your face, Doomers, number one in the NHL. Tell them, David. Where are the Doomers? Where are you at? They're hiding. They're waiting for the next loss. They're going to say, I told you so. This team sucks. Man, what a miserable existence. I'm just going to read this. I just got a text. It says, this was just completely random. It says, we need Allen full time. Just completely out of nowhere. From a longtime Devils fan I'm friends with. We need Allen full time. Completely out of nowhere in real time. John, what a game that was. Rob, Cotter's just automatic when it comes to shootouts. I mean, listen, the filthy, filthy mitts have proven time and time again he is a shootout weapon. And I know a lot of people, I think a lot of people are like me that really like Cotter and root for him and want to see him get a bigger opportunity on the team. There are a lot of those people. And I've seen kind of people on the other side of the fence with it that are like, oh, Cotter's underperforming. But he is a gamer. He's a competitor. He's got a little bit of that heavier edger, more violent in him. And there's no way to prove it, but you could say having that first goal in the shootout and putting the pressure on the Penguins, if he gets stoned there, everything could potentially play differently. And so, he obviously has immense value in the shootout. Granted, this was our first one. Or no, there was one other one? Was there another shootout? Or was this the first shootout? I think this was the first shootout. I'm all foggy right now. But anytime there's a shootout, Cotter's going to be in the first three for sure. Honky Lip said Allen should be canonized into NJ Devil sainthood. What a performance. Ryder, got to run, ladies. Great win. Best game watch of the year. Our boy Grits is exciting. Hit the like on the way out. Let's go Devils. Hit the like for your boy and for your New Jersey Devils. Undefeated at home on the season. Let's go. Let's go. Chazzy Chaz, great game. Grits had amazing vision and hockey instincts. Wish Jack could have buried one since he's chasing top score. I just want to see Jack hit 50. I just want Jack to get 50 and 100 points so badly. And if he stays healthy, I think he's going to do it. That one, was that the second period? Maybe it was the first period. I don't remember. But a pass, I think it was a Luke pass across. Shelovs was kind of down, and Jack took, I think, like a half a second too long to corral it before he ripped it on net. And Shelovs, I think, got it with his glove. And Jack just, did the old look up at the stars because he thought he saw that whole open net and thought he had it an easy one, but he got robbed. Troy Machine says Cotter's a shootout phenom. He should always be top 3. I think he completely would be. I don't see any world where he's not in the first 3 shooters. All right, guys, I got to warp ahead here. A lot of love all the comments though from the chatty folks post big New Jersey Devils victory. John Silva, guys, I just got back from the game. It was my first game and it was a fun one. That is awesome, John. So that was your first game live. It was a fun one. So what are your thoughts? When are you going back, John? Do you live in the area? I need to know all the details. Are you fully hooked now? Have you become a bigger Devils fan? Let us know. But there's nothing like live hockey. And the first time when I was a little kid and went for the first time live, that was a wrap for me. That was it. I was begging my parents to bring me as many times as they could. Pro Bowl, let's go Devils. Timo needs to be on power play 1 permanently. We could talk about this till we're blue in the face, but you know where I'm at with that. Timo time on the right side, power play 1. Let's get it. Mr. White, what's up, Ace of Love God? Keith, can you put Timo Meyer on the right side boards of our power play 1? You guys know where I'm at with that. We've been talking about this going back to last year, and hopefully we see it. But, they talk about the matchup thing, so I guess this is a favorable one for Timo's skill set. For whatever reason, the Pittsburgh PK was conducive to having Timo on power play 1. Hopefully we see him out there all the time. LJ, Nico, and Timo looking like they got hurt, had me in Heart Attack City. Completely agree. I was like that too. 13-child Cholo's stick seemed to be held before the pick goal. He would have been first to that loose puck. Cody Skills, The Rock was rocking when Nico came back. Yo, Holmes, Mike Peluso interview, U of A legend, obviously University of Alaska. Yep, is premiering in a little over 2 hours. Love me some Mike Peluso. It was an honor to talk to him. Some hilarious stories in there. Yeah, Mike Peluso, 1/3 of the crash line and a 1995 Cup champion for our beloved New Jersey Devils. Peluso fire. John, yeah, The Rock was insane. Didn't know a live game could be like that. Hope to attend more games from here on out. Welcome to the fam, John. Live hockey, nothing like it. LJ, Luke has missed last 2 camps. He can only get better with every game. I agree. Jimmy, is it really too much to ask for an extra 5 minutes of 3 versus 3 overtime? Jimmy, you and everyone else, I do think that at some point, I can't see the Players Association being against this, so I don't know what the real holdup would be. Obviously, if they had a 10-minute 3-on-3 shootout, you would probably see the game end in a shootout. I mean, in an overtime, I meant. If you see an extra 5 minutes in overtime, so a 10-minute 3-on-3 overtime, 95% of the games would probably end in the overtime, and you wouldn't need to see shootouts. I think all fans and probably even the players themselves would much rather see that. And so hopefully that happens. I do think that's one of the more obvious ones that I think would have little resistance from anyone. I'm sure there's some weirdos that love the shootout for whatever reason, but I do think that's very common sense, and I like to live in a common sense world. If everybody wants something, then give it to them. Plain and simple. And I think the overwhelming majority of fans would like to see that. And like I said, I'm sure a lot of the players would as well. Pro Bowl forever. I definitely see your point, Ace. I just hope Luke can mature and that contract was worth it to extend him. Again, this is the last time I want to talk about this. But yes, Luke signed for $9 million AAV, average annual value, prior to the season starting, or I guess technically during preseason. So after the season, the preseason started, a long-term deal. And the reason teams do this is because you hope to lock a guy up that will be a value contract in years down the line. And so Luke very well may not perform like a quote-unquote $9 million player this year, but you're hoping in years, even maybe 3, 4, and beyond, that he's playing like a $12 million player. And it's not crazy to think that with the cap going up consistently and these new deals being signed all the time with guys that you never even heard of getting crazy money, the $9 million should be a pretty sweet bargain in the not too distant future. And so everyone has to, again, zoom out a little bit. Let's not look at the contract today. Let's look at what it looks like next year and the years after, because I do believe when it's all said and done, The Luke deal will be looked at similarly to the way the Jack deal is now, and Brader and Nico. It will be considered team-friendly, and you need a bunch of those to build a roster in the salary cap constraints to win a cup. To win a cup. Well, looking forward to that Peluso interview. He was all heart and body checks. The sight of him crying on the bench as they're about to win the cup is seared into my brain. All of us. The closing moments. Big Mike sitting on the bench, leaning over. Obviously, we talk about that and a million other things, but check it out. 6:30 premiere link pinned at the top. Yo, Holmes, I still have Peluso's autograph from 95 hanging on my wall. Met him in the parking lot after a Devils' first ever loss to the Lightning. Yeah, he was always very fan-friendly, signed autographs. Just a man of the people. And that's, I think, that combined with the way he played made him a fan favorite. Set my reminder for the interview tonight. Mercer did mature after a bit. Yeah, Mercer is a beast. Mercer was a beast. Michael S. Ace, kids are stepping. This is what a real bottom six looks like. Grits is very exciting to watch. What an addition to the team. Hit the like. Thank you, Michael. Hit the like. But a bottom six that can score goals? Unbelievable. We're not used to it after last season. But this is a new team, guys. A new team, a revamped bottom six. Depth scoring is here. And when you have depth scoring and a nice balanced attack with solid D and goaltending, sky is the limit. And I really do think this is a special team. But we will see. Pro Bowl purposes, I wonder what NJ will do at the deadline. I think we all are wondering that. NJ Swamp Fox, Ace, why was your media career so short? I thought your questions were a cut above, especially the Dilly question to Dougie. Oh, it's such a long story. But it's a long story. Let's just say that. Yo, Holmes, Adam Hamway parked in front of my house for the watch party at Just Jake's. I was outside watering my garden in my hat. Cool guy. That's awesome. That is awesome. I actually know Jake of Just Jake's, which is another funny story. Snow Devil says, most entertaining overtime I've seen in a while. Great finish. Yeah, it really was. Ryan the Man, glad we gave Allen that extension in the summer. Shout out to Jake Allen once again for the team-friendly, ridiculous team-friendly deal. 1.8 million times 5 years. No one saw it coming. Supposedly teams are going to offer him $4 and $5 million bucks. But he said, I want to stay in New Jersey. I want to be a Devil. And he signed on the line, which is dotted for way below market value. Pro Bowl says, as much as we'd like to see Tuck, I think the dream might be dead at this point. I mean, why is that? M. Sharps is winning the close ones. Pro Bolts. Allen is more consistent than Markey. Zach, need more shots on goal on the power play. David, I bet they keep every other game rotation and start Markey against the Islanders. It is possible. But I'd like to see someone get hot and kind of run with it. We'll see how that goes. I always like riding the hot hand. Shoots, that OT was so fun to watch. What a game, boys. Defend our barn. Yeah, unbeaten at home. It's amazing. What's going on? Devil Heaven 77. Pro Bowl, if they wanted to extend Markey, he really should have taken a major pay cut like Allen did. Well, I could see people saying that. But in the end, I do think other teams, if he hit unrestricted free agency, I think teams would have thrown a ton of money at Markey and prayed that it worked out. I don't think he would have got much more than he got from the Devils, but I think he could have got maybe an extra year and a little bit more. I can't kill him for it. I mean, it's probably his last career payday. Devil having another great team win, not pretty, but that's real right now. They don't have to be pretty. Just give us 2 points. Pro Bowl forever, not a beer drinker. I'll take cranberry juice. Okay. You enjoy that. Every time someone talks about cranberry juice, I think of the scene in, is it The Departed? It's The Departed. Leonardo DiCaprio at the bar. Devil Heaven, imagine if we were healthy, we're playing for each other. I mean, if they were, I don't know that we're ever going to see a fully healthy team. I just want to see a close to healthy team. Fully healthy could be a pipe dream. That may never happen, but close to healthy would be nice. Ryan, first shootout of the season, we win and remain undefeated at home at the Rock. It's exciting stuff. Home ice. Defend home ice and get it for the playoffs. Get home ice to the playoffs would be amazing. Especially that whoever we're playing in the Eastern Conference Finals would really be nice. Snow Devil, Brown and Glendening have been solid for us on the PK. Both great signings. Completely agree. And Glendening getting a deal off of PTO. Larry, Nemitz looking better almost 27 minutes today in that big-time dive, last 30 seconds of OT. Crazy. I knew he was out there a lot. He played, I think Luke played a lot too. Let's see. Yeah, Luke had 29-39. And Nemitz 26-39. Unbelievable stuff. Big-time minutes for these young men. Big-time minutes. Cody Skills says Brown should be back for Chicago. John Fay, I'll say leaving the arena. That bar exactly across from the arena knows how to rock after a win. I'm assuming you're talking about either Reds or American whiskey. What's going on? Selected boy, both Cotter and Brett. Phenomenal in shootouts. Simon, what's going on? He says, we rock. Corey, how do you see things going forward when we get everyone back? Who comes out for Dodonov and Brown? Who's the odd D-man out when Dougie, Brett, and Covey are all back? I mean, I just can't even live in such a fantasy world, Corey, where all of these things happen at once. I don't know. There's so many variables. To me, it's all just wait and see. And I think that's kind of how the coaching staff's going to play it. Like, by the time Dodonov comes back, someone else may be injured. Obviously, as far as defense goes, that whole pairing, Chalowski and White obviously is off. And then it's going to be down to one other guy, and people will speculate, will it be Nemitz? Will it be somebody else? I mean, we're going to have to find out. But that takes a lot of people getting healthy without anyone else getting injured in the meantime, and that could be slightly pipe dreamy. Tom, the top three lines are squared up. The fourth line has been a who's who, and Cotter is suffering from it. Once we get back, perhaps Cotter starts clicking. Maybe. Snow Devil says, first post game that I've seen no doom at all. Oh, you just cursed it, Snow Devil. You just jinxed us. It's way too early in this thing. Something will happen sooner or later. Selected boy. Oh, what's up, Devils, folks? What's going on? Yo, Holmes, it's about damn time we had a home ice advantage. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, it really is. I feel like we haven't been great at home for the past few years. And it would be nice to really turn the Rock into a place that's difficult to play. I've talked about it. We still have a ways to go. But the team has performed there on the young season, and you'd love to see it. Devils, that game was insane. So many blocks. I almost got a heart attack. So many good chances. I thought there were going to be more goals, but both teams are good. I have to give respect to the Penguins. I mean, the Penguins have legends. Sid and Malkin are two all-time greats. Malkin is so big. Man, I always wanted Malkin on the Devils. I would still take him now. It's not going to happen, but I would love it. Yo, Holmes says, happy first game live, John. Great game for John. Cody Skills. Amagi, I still have the hockey puck from my first Devils game ages ago. There's some writing on it in permanent marker, but it's real small and faded, so I can't make out anything but my name, Continental. Very nice. Very, very nice. Yo, Holmes says, my first game was 93 Devils Oilers. Lemieux had 2 goals and Danico had 2 fights, hooked for life. Claude Lemieux and Dana, what legends. Man, all you people that are longtime fans, we were so spoiled during those years. It's crazy. John Seville says, yeah, man, live about 20 minutes away. Definitely going back with the wife. Maybe in a year or two we'll get season tickets. That was so exhilarating. Sat in the third row. Was crazy fun. Woo! Yeah, it's a great time, John. Glad you enjoyed it, and get back as soon as you can. Tom, we are winning, but it's appearing we're struggling 5-on-5 with the defense injuries. We are going to live and die with goaltending and special teams so the troops come back. Yeah. Devil Evan, let's keep the Rock rocking. Let's build our fan base back. Success will do this. Yeah, winning cures all, right? I mean, nothing like building new fans than winning. Going on deep runs. I'm sure tons of people that were at the Rock today became a big Devils fan during the 2012 run. I mean, anytime the team goes on a deep run, they hear about it more. There's more media about it. They hear about it. Well, there's not really newspapers anymore, I suppose, but, social media, their friends, whatever. It's buzz. It's buzzworthy stuff. New Jersey's only professional team, folks. And so deep runs will do that. And 2012 definitely brought a lot of people in. And I'm sure 22-23 to some extent did as well. Phenomenal regular season, franchise record, 112 points, beating the Rangers in a glorious 7-game series in the first round. All of those things will bring the fans in. And there's nothing like success for that. Jonah, the NHL be perfect if no loser points, no shootouts, fixed playoff seeding 1-8. Tell him, Jonah. Tell him. I don't really care about the loser point, although if I had to pick, I'd probably get rid of it. I don't like it. But the shootouts and the playoff seeding to me is the worst of anything. The old school playoff seeding, there was nothing wrong with it. There was no need to change it. I hate the current playoff format. I think most fans do. I do believe different media outlets have done polling of some kind about, do you like the current format or would you prefer for it to go back to 1-8? And it was like the most overwhelming poll of all time. I forget what it was percentage-wise, but I want to say it was like 95% were like, give us 1 to 8, which is even higher than I would have guessed. Yo, Holmes, Peluso flipped me my first puck. I made a sign for him and sat behind the glass with my boys, and Peluso is dumping pucks at us. Dude is the man forever. That's a great story. Yo, Holmes, Unhinged Devs fan says, Yo, Holmes, awesome first game. What's going on, Carson? Your boys are buzzing. Top 3 in the Metro all look pretty good. I completely agree. Yo, Holmes, thanks, man. Billy Guerin, also a fight in my first game. Love Billy G. We didn't know that we had a team of legends coached by legends. It's so true. So spoiled. With Yo, Holmes, don't forget legends calling the games, too. Cody says Devils vs. Canes series would go to Game 7 now. Maybe. I would throw up for that. A Game 7 against the Canes would certainly make me nauseous. And if it was at the Rock, I obviously would be there, and I'd have to be medicated heavily because another devastating blow at the hands of the Hurricanes would be too much for me to handle. M. Sharp, Luke is going to go off soon. Right now, he's holding up the defense end of his game and moving the puck out of our zone quickly. Next up, more of his shots will be getting to the net. Would like to see it. LJ says the people behind keeping the shootout are the people behind not making a Black Devils jersey. It's obvious what the fans want, so let's not do it. I'm not going to lie. With this organization, sometimes it does seem that way. I mean, I could sit here and complain about so much stuff. I'm not going to, but there was an incident today with a bunch of people. They had the Jetty release, and a bunch of people came just to go to the store to get the some of the merch. And then they announced, as people were walking in, essentially, that you needed to scan your game ticket to go to the store to buy. You basically needed to have a ticket scanned before you could go in the store. And there was tons of people there that were like, I just drove 80 miles to buy the merchandise. And they were like, you can't do that. And it snowballed into a whole thing. And sometimes I just feel like there is no logic or common sense applied to certain things. I guess lots of things in life. But specifically when it comes to this team, it's like, how tone deaf can an organization be with certain things? So tons of people wanted to give the team money today. And they were like, nope, there's a silly rule that you need a game ticket to go in the store. So sorry, you can't buy anything in the store. Completely ridiculous. Dwayne, Luke had 0 turnovers in 30 minutes, and some jerk said he had too many turnovers. Cody Skills, Jake Allen playing more than his money, obviously way above a $1.8 million goaltending level. Holmes says, shout out to Boozeface. We bury the guy constantly, but this team is built like an absolute wagon. John Woodson, blackout restrictions in sporting events should result in life in prison for someone. I totally agree with that, Woodson. John NJDevils 45, great win ace, 2 points, all that matters. Fired up for the Peluso interview tonight. Yeah, it's all that matters. 2 points is 2 points. Let's take it and prepare for Monday. Yo, Holmes says, cranberry juice with no booze in it is a waste of juice. Oh, you guys are funny. Unhinged Devs fan. Dilly fight, Grits goal, the Snake, Stonewall, Crosby, and shootout. You got to smile. It was a good time. Let the good times roll. Rob, old man Rob, loving the win. Can't wait for all the boys to get healthy and everyone is back on the ice. Don't sleep on our depth, though. I mean, the depth is nice to have, but when your entire right side D gets crunched, Kovacevic, Pesci, Hamilton, it is it's just a curse. It's a curse. We need some guys back. Woodson says, and Allen should be our starter, but nothing is new. Content creator, Yo Ace. Hello, content creator. Unhinged Devs fan, Dilly hit and follow-up fight. I vote Snake 50% or more of starts. Colin 226, Hobby's Deli pregame was amazing. As always, ate my weight in pastrami and corned beef. Damn it. I've been telling myself that I want to get to, I haven't been to Hobby's in a long time, and I love the pastrami also. And they used to be open later, and now it's like, I think they're only open like a few games a year. They'll stay open late for the game or something. So, oh man, I have to be conscious to try to look for that information or remember to go and get some Hobbies. Larry says, big thumbs up for Ace, everybody. Thank you, Larry. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, Larry. Hit the thumbs up for your boy and for your New Jersey Devils undefeated at the Rock on home ice. Devil wearing those. Yeah, I don't know. Wait, crazy how that works, right, Devil? Heaven 77. We win the game and they're nowhere to be found. Maria, what's going on? What up, Ace? Just got back from the game. What a win. Thought last overtime win was a biggie. This one was even bigger. They get bigger and bigger, Maria. Bigger and bigger. I'm a little beaten up from this one. It was a little bit of a roller coaster. I was running around a little bit. Stretches of play, we didn't play great. I really wanted to see a win. I did not want my personal streak to come to an end. I've been to every game except the Avalanche one. I went to, not the Avalanche, the Canadians one. And obviously the boys are unbeaten at home. And so I'm also unbeaten in my early career this season, 25-26. John NJ nasty mitts in the shootout. OT was fun. Yo, Holmes, the good old hockey game is the best game you could name. And the best game you could name is the good old hockey game. And that would sound like a great song, Yo, Holmes. Maybe you should get on that. Woodson says, I hate the shootouts even when we win. Now, listen, when we win, I don't care about anything. Alex, I would say keep the loser points. When we lose, OT or shootout, we get one. Colin says, ties in sports are un-American. I don't know if they're un-American, but it's certainly kind of crappy. Michael, I love these last few wins, but the team still needs work on getting the puck out of the D zone in under a minute. Too often I'm holding my breath. Yeah, we saw it today. There was some very extensive Pittsburgh Penguins cycles and just kind of dominating us in our own end. It is, but, you know, I don't want to make excuses, but you just have to understand when you're missing this many guys due to injury, you're going to see games and shifts and periods like this where you're like, oh, my God, we looked horrible. You just hope that it doesn't last and it's just kind of something they get through and survive. Del 1177 Ace, are they keeping tickets reasonable these days? What's the cheapest ticket or best tickets for bang for the buck? I don't think anything is reasonable in life these days, except, shameless plug, except Quick Check has the greatest deal, in my opinion, in the area. And that deal, my friends, is buy any breakfast sandwich and get any size coffee for $1. For $1. And so I will recommend the sausage, egg, and cheese on an English muffin. It's $3.99. And then I get the 40-ounce. It's like this big. 40-ounce iced coffee. And with the tax, it's like $5.32 or something. Probably the greatest deal in 2025 today. But the tickets, I guess that's all relative and objective. I mean, you could, if you are a savvy consumer, you could usually find decent deals, but it's definitely not cheap. I would say cheap is not a word I would use. I would say if you're a savvy shopper, you could get reasonable, but cheap, definitely not. John Fay, is it weird to say I give some credit to Timo for the way we are and have been playing at home? He did say we want to make this place hard to compete and play in, I believe is what he said. Yeah, he said something like that. I don't know if – I just think it's just kind of the mentality of the group. So the guys that have been here for a while are a year older. They didn't like the way last year ended. And then you got guys like Connor Brown in the mix kind of giving him a push. I just think it was kind of a perfect storm of a lot of things to kind of flip the switch, if you will, for this team to become a little bit more of a real contender. Alan, Ace, you know what I'm going to say? I must have said this at least 4 times to you. Connor has silky mitts and could be, I believe, a 2025 goal scorer if this team needs to get off the 4th line. No, listen, there's a reason why they're not doing it, or a few reasons, but I would like to see him get a true audition. I would. But I also like him as a 4th liner. I think he plays that role well as well. But I do agree with your notion that, you know, he probably has more to give. I think he does too. Tito, I have 2 signed game used Brodeur pucks and baseball cards. Back in the day, I was like a puck magnet and always got something signed. I do believe I'd like to see the 95 white and black jerseys. Oh, the old school white jerseys are phenomenal. Dwayne, play a 7-minute overtime and let the game end in a tie after that. Why 7 minutes? That's the most random thing of all time, Dwayne. Why not 10 minutes? Yo, Holmes, Doc Emmerich is the greatest sports announcer of all time. Very true, Ace. Plus, everyone remembers Chico Eats. Oh, man. Chico Eats. What a segment. But Doc was just – Doc and Chico is such a tandem in the booth. Tito, last year's Devils would have lost this game, so there's no more saying it's a dead horse. Michael just got home from Newark with a game. Jake deserved the shutout, but still good to see him get the first star. Nico getting hit in the face gave me a scare for sure. Oh, yeah. A scare would be an understatement. I was nauseous. Ace, get Marty's vodka ripping. We win, we booze. Win or lose, we booze. I'm going to need to get a refill. Today I'm going with the brought to you by our friends at Surfside. I'm going to have to reload. Sherry says, Ace, have you seen Breaking T's new Devils tee? Jack's skating with a pitchfork and it says, put a pitchfork in this one. I saw some shirt of that. I don't know what company it was. I saw a company did make that, though, and they sent them to Don, and he posted it. So, Con says 3 more chances to get the hobbies before a Devils game. Saturday, December 13th, Saturday, January. Okay, thank you, Con. Let me snap that. Yeah, I don't know why they don't do it more. Like, I feel like there's demand for it. Why would you limit it to so few games? Ryan Westerfield, no decor is healthy. I'd love to see Dylan Dougie. Well, we'll see. I don't know if the whole decor. I guess at some point, I hope that they're all healthy at once, but at this point, nothing surprises me. Amagi says, best bang for the buck ticket is really anything in the hundreds. Yo, Holmes, Ace, that is the hockey song, bro. My Canadian peeps all know the song. Dr. Stomp and Tom Connors, the hockey. Yo, Holmes, are you serious, bro? I was kidding. I obviously know that song. The good old hockey game. Come on, man. You don't think I know that? Shh. Disrespectful, Yo, Holmes. Knowles, what a game, boys. Colin, section 101 to 107 are the best value in the arena. John, NJDevils 45, shock of the Rock in 09 against Kansas, probably the most devastating loss I've been to. I will say the way it happened was, let me think about this. Because it was a game 7 and it was like bang, bang, like we already thought, like I was mentally like getting prepared to go buy round 2 tickets. But no, I mean, I still think for me, the game 5, even though it made the series 3-2 and the Devils still had the lead, game 5, 1-0 triple overtime loss against the Dallas Stars at Continental in the 2000 Cup Finals with the chance to win the Cup in the building. They were polishing that thing. And to lose 1-0 in triple overtime, I think that has to be the most devastating loss for me, even though it didn't knock them out like obviously the game 7 against Carolina did. That one really, really hurt. Devil Evans says, cold cut sandwiches, homemade mac and cheese tonight. Very nice. What kind of cold cuts? Maria, Timo really gunning for it today. Timo was all over the place, I thought. I think he had a couple nice hits that I recall and some that obviously I don't remember. But I love Timo, and I hope we see him on power play 1 regularly on that right side. He is such a weapon, and I hope we see him out there. Love me some Timo Meyer. Michael, I was worried about Timo. In the first, he took a weird hit, went to the bench, and grabbed a bag of ice on the bench. Yeah, I saw him. I watched him kind of like limping off the ice, and I was like, oh, no. Oh, no. Do not tell me Timo's going down. Noel says DJ Paulie Cotter is absolute gold. Yeah, obviously referring to that. I forget where they were, but he had the stick kind of in the hallway and pretending to spin the turntables. Pretty funny. Devil Heaven Glass looking solid. Revived. Don for president. R-Dog99 brought my daughter to her first Devils game today. Hell of a game to go to. It certainly was. How old's your daughter, R-Dog? Robbie's bench toss. Shout out to Chuck the Duck with Matt and the Maven. Oh, man. What a great segment that was. What a legend, too. Matt and the Maven. Legends. Yo, Holmes, Maven still pops up, too. Dude saw the first slap shot and stops by when he's in town from Israel. Very nice. Devil Heaven, Devils fans. Top 3 hockey movies of all time. So, I mean, no, I know the song. I know it is. You have to be. I don't even know where I first came in contact with that. But LJ, back in '96 or '97, I remember Peluso getting hit in the face by the side of a skate, knocked out teeth. He might not have missed the next game. I'm pretty sure it was him. I don't recall that, but it certainly sounds, very possible. Robbie's bench toss game 6 2000 Stanley Cup Finals is the number 1 loss. Shock at the Rock number 2. Yeah, unfortunately, I was at that one too. Game 6 of the Cup Finals against the Avalanche. 2 years in a row, the Cup was in the building, and the Devils had the chance to skate it, and it didn't happen. Alan, I really like the early games, especially when we win. Nice to just sit back knowing we already got the 2 points relaxed and just follow the other games. It's a little early for me. I think for me the 3:30. The 3:30 afternoon games also very rare, but I think that's like the sweet spot. David chimes for low depth defenseman. I'm fine with Chalowski and White. Both are vets that have enough cups of coffee in the NHL to at least not hurt us, even if they're not NHL talents. Yeah, I think that's kind of what the team is looking for at this point. It's like, who can we get that could give us some minutes and not be a complete liability? And I think someone asked me, I was talking to somebody outside today, just a random conversation. And they were talking about Seamus Casey. And I said, listen, I do think Seamus Casey obviously has much more offensive upside than any of these other guys. But in the end, that's not really what they're looking for right now. I think we have, especially with the bottom six that can contribute, I'm not really worried about the offense, and the coaching staff isn't either. They know we're going to get goals from somewhere. The more pressing need is to play defense and keep pucks out of the back of our own net. And so that's why, to your point, David, I do think that Cholowski and White are going to be here until we get some bodies back. And it's just like, don't get exposed, and that's a win for us. What's going on, Bobby? Thank you for the super. What's up, Ace? Another solid win. Although I'm getting concerned with how poorly our power play has been. Get Luke off power play 1 and put in Nemitz. Oof. But thank you for the super, Bobby. Great win, obviously. The power play, I think, will eventually start to heat up again. It is going to miss Dougie for however long he's gone, but I can't see them giving Nemitz power play 1 time over Luke. I just can't see it. But I think you're going to see Nemitz on power play 2. I think you saw him out there today. I just can't see him on power play 1 unless Luke is injured at 2, which would be absolutely tragic. Yo Holmes says Devils Heaven 77. The boss move was 2 VCRs to record the playing VHS to another VHS. Top 3 hockey movies going with Slapshot, Youngblood, Miracle. Dun dun dun. Let me check something. Is there any other? What are the games on tonight? I need some rest. I'm kind of hold on. Let's see. I don't understand what my mother doesn't understand. Yeah, she just realized probably and then hung up. She knows the deal. This is New Jersey Devils lifestyle. If there's a game, don't call me. Don't call me for a few hours after the game. I'm not going to pick up. We got a show to do here, people. All right, let's see. Tasha says Nemitz with that insane block in OT. John Fay, I think Cholowski and White together went well today. I don't know about anyone else, but I was a bit fond of that D pairing. They also created a nice chance. I think it was White passed it to Cholowski, and he kind of was that the second period or the I don't remember what period it was, but White passed to Cholowski, and he kind of cut to the net, and I think he had a decent shot. Antonio says Nemitz had an insane save on the break. Yo, Holmes, John Fay, way better than anticipated. Keep rolling them. Yeah, I mean, as long as we win and no one gets exposed, run it back. Run it back, and hopefully we see Timo on power play 1 again. Tosh said Nemitz really stepping up, played big minutes today. Faye says, Yo, Holmes, both guys seem to have been buzzing together. If I was Keith, I would keep them together. I mean, certainly. Certainly. Nicole says, Mama Ace not watching. She can't sit here and watch this. I mean, I think she might watch a couple minutes here and there, but she's not going to sit here. And I think she was calling me because she's babysitting my nephews, her grandkids. The grandkids. They're such little savages. So she's probably seeing if I'm going to go over there for dinner. And I honestly probably shouldn't eat solid food until today's Saturday. I probably shouldn't eat solid food until sometime like Wednesday or Thursday. I think I need to do like a complete juice cleanse because I've been on one for the past few days. And the Devils games are just disastrous. Completely disastrous. I think I had a dozen cookies and like a dozen cookies and like maybe 5-6 pastries. Granted, they're mini pastries. But just calamity. Calamity. Yo, Holmes says, for sure, I have trepidation about the pairing, but they look good. LJ says, correction, I had to look it up. It was Peluso ended up hitting McKay in the face with his skate. Randy was the one that bounced back the next game. Michael, got to go deal with my kids. Great game and keep it up, Ace. Don't forget to smash that like for your boy. Thanks, Michael. Take care. Hope to see you again soon Monday. Hopefully we're celebrating another win and the Devils still being unbeaten on the home ice. Devils fan since 86. Very nice. You got me beat by a long shot. Yo, Holmes, White is an 8-year pro with over 80 NHL games, 0 goals. We got to get him one. That would be nice. First NHL goal after 8 years. That's got to be some kind of record. Tasha says, my friends don't have to FaceTime me when hockey's on. Luke, yep. Tons of minutes for Luke. 29-39. Crazy. Nearly half of a regulation game. Devil Heaven making the homemade meatballs tomorrow. Man, you're always in the kitchen, huh, Devil Heaven? John Fay, especially since they both created some good offense and some scoring chances, which is what we need our D to be doing if they see the chance. Take these chances. Nicole, should have brought your nephews to this game. That's a whole nother story, Nicole. If only it were that easy. If only it were that easy. Devil having the Holy Trinity, veal, beef, and pork. Very nice. Tasha, juice cleanse. You know the easy solution would be just not to get Ace buffet at the Rock. It's really not an option. If I'm in one of the buffet situations, buffet I will, and I will buffet hard. So buffet so hard. I should make that a t-shirt. Buffet so hard. Oh man, Tasha, 12 cookies is diabolical. Are they even good? So I think some of them are good, some of them are okay, but I wanted to try a bunch of different ones, and I think they had at least 8 different kinds. And I'm including chocolate dipped pretzels that were in the same platter. So I didn't finish all of them. Like some of my, but like they're basically like single bites. Like, you know, they weren't big cookies, so I'm just kind of popping them like Tic Tacs. They're just going down. Some of them, I think 1 or 2 of them had like some kind of fruit stuff in it. I don't want any sort of fruit, anything in any of my desserts, especially cookies, and obviously cakes as well. I could deal with like that really, you know, what's that standard like yellow cake? They'll put the strawberries in it with like the sugary frosting that'll give you diabetes. I'll eat that, but like in terms of any other kinds of fruit, I don't want fruit mixed with my dessert. But the cookies were decent. Devil Evan says, yes, sir. Ace, love to cook, brother Rubberneck. I like the idea of it. I definitely don't like cleaning up. Vect, when do we enter Etsy which territory to cleanse our team of so many injuries? Let's go Devils, and I'd much rather catch an injury bug early in the season than mid to late season like recently. Well, the thing is, I think we're definitely there. If people want to start doing the Etsy which and any other rituals that we could do, I think people should be actively trying them. But I also am not one of these people that think just because we had all these injuries now, that somehow means we're not going to have them later. We might just have them consistently throughout the season. I hope not. But a lot of people are kind of leaning into that kind of thinking, like, oh, they're getting it out of the way now. And I'm like, I don't know if that's how it works. I'm not convinced. Theodore says, missing Pesci big, but glad to pick up the 2 points. LJ, heavier, edgier, more violent buffet edition. You damn right. You damn right. Tasha, I was visiting this Hallmark-esque town today, but I managed to catch good pieces, including the Grits Goal, OT, and Shootout. What was this Hallmark-esque town you speak of, Tasha? Did anyone get injured? No, but we had scares from both Timo Meyer and nicohischier in this one. John Fay, the Honors is going to be another interesting team. They won't be no walk in the park either. No, definitely not. Tasha, what about chocolate-covered fruit? Chocolate-covered strawberries, obviously, right? Again, I would never order them. This is what I tell people about certain desserts. They're like, will you eat this? And I'm like, I would never order it, but if it's the only dessert there, will I eat it? Absolutely. Absolutely. I regularly go to some of my friends' house where they have a dessert I would never order, but it's like, that's what they have for dessert. I'm like, all right, well, I guess, you know, it's that or nothing, so I'm going to eat it. But I definitely would never seek it out. But chocolate-covered strawberries, count me in. What other fruits do people eat with chocolate covered besides strawberries? You know what I haven't had in forever, and it just this whole conversation reminded me of it. One of the caramel apples. I feel like I haven't seen. Do they still make those? I feel like I haven't. I guess you have to look for them, but usually I just feel like in the fall I used to be overwhelmed with them, like just out and about. But I feel like I haven't seen them in forever because normally I would just buy them randomly, just see it, and I'm like, yeah, that's an impulse purchase. Give me the apple, but I prefer green apples. I'm probably in the minority with that too. Rob says, where can I pre-order a buffet so hard t-shirt? Yeah, we'll see. It's not ready yet. Yo, Holmes, got a crew going Monday. A few Islanders fans slipped in the group. We will let them see their team in person get buried by a real team. I mean, that kid Schaefer looks the real deal. One of my buddies from childhood, from elementary school, was an Islander fan our whole lives. He still loves the Islanders. His kid loves the Islanders. They go to a ton of games at UBS. Shout out to Patty Hauser. But Schaefer looks like the real deal. The real deal. Yeah, I think Schaefer's going to win the Calder, or at least should. I would like to see Grits win, obviously, because he's a Devil. And because I may or may not have sprinkled a little wager on him to win it at 50-1. But Schaefer, I think, is going to probably take it down. Yo, Holmes, my unsung favorite rock eats are the kosher kiosk. Is that supposed to say kiosk? I think so. With their sour straw candies, they are the best sour ropes I've ever had. Really? Where is this located? Brandon, Devils got some life back. It's good, Bobby. I'm going to the game 01-12. So I need you to go so I can buy you a beer and thank you for what you do. I honestly don't know what I'm doing past today. But it seems like, at least at this pace, I'm going to shatter my single season games record. So I guess there's a good chance I'll be there. John, that Schaefer kid is pretty good. It's going to be interesting to see how he handles peanut butter and jelly. It's going to be a test for him. He's going to see them up close and personal. Slurp, also don't forget no fruit and beer also. I have to disagree on this one. Because I really want the orange in my Blue Moon. I am so sorry. Or maybe I'll say sorry, not sorry. I don't get them a lot. But when I get a Blue Moon, I would like a nice little orange wedge in there. I didn't invent this, but the first time I had it, I was like, this is a delicious combination. Whoever came up with this is genius. And I guess sometimes I would do the lime in the Corona, but I don't need it. Devil Heaven says, hey, Ace, best pizza pies in Jersey. Are you asking me or telling me? Jason, hi, everyone. Just got home from the game. Holy crap, my blood pressure, Batman. Glad wore my grits jersey today for this game. I need to wash this day down now with some stick toss Devil's Brew. Nice. Devil Heaven, have you been to Rayo's in the city? I have not. I have been to Rayo's in Vegas. But yeah, the Rayo's in the city is like crazy. The tables are owned by like celebrities and shit. You got to know someone to get in. I would like to go there at some point, but I've been to the one in Vegas. Obviously, not nowhere near the same thing, but I'll take it. Home says you never go full fruit. Alex, chocolate covered raspberries. I'm out. I'm not a raspberry guy. I'm totally out. Chocolate covered frozen bananas. I think my mother had those at her house recently. I'm not a big banana guy either, but again, if they're there and there's nothing else, will I eat them? Absolutely, but definitely nowhere near my first choice. Tasha, Clinton was the town. So nice, absolutely gorgeous, and must visit. And they had a pickle shop, a whole store for pickle stuff. Cody says Carvel is good, but I need more. Chocolate-covered bananas and raspberries. Nah. LJ, crazy stat I just saw today. Was the first time since 2016 where the Devils won that only one Devil recorded a point. That is an interesting stat. I mean, an unassisted goal, right? Yeah. 1 point. Tasha, was this the same Isles friend that took you to see Obi break the record? That was crazy. And what a view. You really got hooked up. Seats in the 300s were going for like thousands. Wow, Tasha, you have a great memory. Yes, my same friend. I only have one Islander fan friend. Good friend from childhood, and he was a complete hookup. That was him. Nicole, these games lately have been so intense. I'm pregnant, and my family keeps saying I may want to not go to later games because it'll be too much stress, but I'm going. Love the dedication, Nicole, and congratulations. I didn't know, obviously. And so you're telling me now, congratulations to you guys. And hopefully you have many years of, family trips to the Rock eventually when the baby is age appropriate, which at this point, I don't even know, right? I feel like I've seen newborns there. I don't know that I would do that, but everyone has different. I've seen the little fetus kids there with the over the ear headphone things. Tasha said, I mean, you could always save some money and sit in Gen Pop. No, can't do it. Don't bring me back. No, please. No, please. I had a little taste during the preseason and I just can't do it. I'm so sorry. I can't do it. Blue Moon isn't even real beer. All right. That's fine. I'm not here trying to win any sort of beer consumption prizes. I was never really a beer guy. Situational beer drinker. We're drinking my tailgates on the beach. But then once they came out with all the seltzers and things, I was like, what do we even need beer for? Best pies. There's a lot. Tosh said, I have to say, at the Habs game, I saw a bunch of Grits jerseys. Great to see. Yeah, they're going to be coming out in full force. John Fay. One Islander friend and one Ranger friend. That's a crazy trio right there. I have a few other Ranger fan friends, but the Islanders is super off the board. Dude, Italian 3-layer cookies have jam in them. It works. I'm not a fan of those. I'm not going to lie. I'm like, I don't need this. One of my aunts would make she was a very good baker, made all kinds of crazy cookies. I never cared for those. And there was some of the other ones that I never cared for. And I was like, I'm out on these cookies. Make the ones I like. The one that she made that she liked, the ones that she made that I liked were like, I forget what they're called. They're like pretty puffy, very buttery. And they had like this cream cheese frosting that was just like pure sugar as well with like little rainbow. I don't even think there were sprinkles. They were like, I'm going to have to ask my mom. They were delicious. I need a new Devils jersey. Does anyone got Adidas size 52? Adidas size 52, huh? I love sour things. Yo Home says hobbies has great pickles. Devil Heaven says, oh shit, Nicole's not single. Oh my god, because the yeah, you guys are hilarious. Michael, first game in a bit, was on the IR for the last 4. Gen Pop shooters didn't let me down today. Very nice. Very, very nice. Gotta have the Gen Pop shooters. Yeah. Chocolate mousse is good. Devil Heaven Rolling Rock, my favorite since age 6. Oh, caramel apple pie, maybe, or blueberry. Not a fan of many Italian cookies. Yeah, no, I'm not huge on a lot of them. Yo, Holmes Ace, what are the best bougie lounges for VIP deals? I've only been behind the glass. I mean, it just depends. I would say there's pros and cons to every lounge. I think at this point I've been in every single one. That I paid for, by the way, to those that may be watching that think that I did some sort of trickeration. I did not. I have been a paying customer of the New Jersey Devils for 3 decades and have been to every lounge at this point. Prudential Lounge, the M Lounge, the Verizon Lounge, the Lofts, the restaurant. It depends what you're looking for. I always am, there's slight food and different things, but I always like the ones with the best seats and like the best view. And in my opinion, the best seats are center ice, lower level, which would be either M Lounge or the Hyundai. I forget what the one on the other side is called, but the main level lounge that used to be Fire and Ice back in the day. I think it just depends on the game, Yo Holmes, but you can't go wrong in any of them. Any one of the VIP areas with the food included is pretty solid. Amagi says he has a brand new reverse retro 2.0 Fanatics breakaway for sale. It's a nice one and a large, like a 52. Nicole says my baby is coming out a full-blooded Devils fan for sure. I'd imagine it would. Devil Heaven Ace, what are we thinking about New Jersey ideas? Oh, I've been meaning to do a video on this. I've just been slacking. It will come out soon. Ice cold rolling rocks. Okay. 13-child plot had a goal today off his head. Glenning's okay. Could have been a scary one. What's going on, Jeff? Paths. Guys, bear with me. I've slept. This might be the least sleep I've had in quite some time. Passes weren't tape to tape, and we still hung in there and showed heart. Antonina, wifey is a big soccer fan. Trying to convert her to Devils hockey fan. Will be taking her to playoffs. Take her to a regular season game first. I think that's kind of how you sell it. Jeff, Nemitz has been so good as well. Delancey, big win today. Devil Heaven Ace, what you want for Adidas Stadium jersey? I don't have any Adidas Stadium. I only have a game worn that will never leave. You have to pry it out of my cold, dead fingers. Joe Mama, those lounge tickets are too expensive for my blood. The way I justify it is that if you're going to eat any sort of food at the game, in the end, you're going to end up spending the same amount of money anyway. So you might as well just not have to deal with the headaches and enjoy the amenities of VIP. James says, Devils are legit, but can we release Chalowski and hope he signs in the division? Why would you want to do that? We've needed him right now. We're so injured. Michael, best lounge, Gen Pop, shooters. Sean's are cheap in the lounges wherever you are. Honky Lips, I made it to today's game. Now it's time for the victory fire pit. Very nice. I feel like it got warmer out today. Maybe it's because I was sprinting like a maniac out of the game. Tasha Marty's coming out of retirement with this one in reference to New Jersey. I don't think so, but you never know. I just hope the jersey's nice. Devil Heaven Rolling Rock, the old Latrobe, PA Budweiser ruined it. Antonino, she got me tickets last year. We went. She liked it, but the playoffs are definitely a different animal. Cody says I'll be at the Devils game on Monday. Okay. Tasha, cold dead fingers. Oh, I'm being buried with my devil stuff for sure. The future kids are on. All right, guys, I'll be right back. I'm gonna have one more beverage. I need some water as well. Very thirsty from all the salt consumption at the game. Be right back. Quick bathroom break. Oh, it's still so early. That is the one positive I will say about the early games is like there's a whole night ahead of us here. Right? There's a whole night ahead of us. 5:15? Sheesh. That's a lot of time. 5:15 super early. All right, I'll be right back. I need to go at my smart water because it has, I think, electrolytes. Got to replenish. Ow! Shit. I got it. Oh, stumbling, mumbling back in here. All right, this segment brought to you by the fine people at Smart Water. I'm a little bougie with the water now, too. I mean, I guess I've always been bougie with the water. You know, I know some people that are like, I have filtered water or purified water. I'm like, I don't want that shit. I want a bottle. Give me a bottle. Hold on, I got to hydrate. Hydration is very important, kids. Whew. It was delicious. Honky, Ace, I saw you at the game speaking to someone. I didn't want to interrupt, but told my people about your channel. I appreciate that. That would fall under the portion of the share with a friend. Share with a friend. And thank you very much, Honky Lips. But never interruption. You can always come bother me. It's not a bother ever. Love talking to everybody. Love the community we built here. And love New Jersey Devils hockey. There's nothing better. There is nothing better. Devil Heaven says matinee games are the best. Yeah, I think when I was younger, I liked them more. And I don't know. Again, pros and cons, right? Like sometimes I have very late nights and sometimes I'm not a morning person. And so 12th, yeah, I was up and out like pretty early making moves today, doing things, but I do like the 3:30. I don't mind the 12:30 or 1 o'clocks every so often, but 2 points. Winner, chicken dinner. Dogzilla says Grits is cool as a cucumber and roofing that puck. Amazing OT and shootout. Allen is money in the bank right now. Let's go Devils. Yeah, what an amazing game. Another amazing game for Jake. What a signing. We don't know, but obviously the deal that he signed was ridiculously team friendly, and it's already paid dividends in this young season when Markey went down. Tasha, I want to go to the game on Monday so bad, but it's my mother's birthday. Bring your mother to the game. Devil Heaven says Grits next Russian rocket. Let's not get crazy, but anywhere near that. Tasha says smart water is not bougie. Bougie is Fiji. Oh, I like that too. I like the Fiji too, but I guess everything's bougie compared to the filtered water crowd. And no offense to the filtered water people in here or the purified water, but let's be serious. It's not the same. Michael, electrolytes, it's what plants crave. Brondo. The thirst mutilator? What the hell is that? Electrolytes are great. Grapefruit liquid IV is the best flavor. Is that the powder or like pellets? What is the liquid IV? I remember it's like a hangover cure, right? Grit swiped it from Letang too. I don't like the matinee games. I love the evening because it's kind of like a routine, and weeknight games are cheaper to go to. But I will say the late ones are kind of annoying if it's not 6 or 7. Completely agree with that. I am all for whatever is the most economical and financially responsible way. And I do agree. Like you said, a lot of times the weeknight games are cheaper because a lot of parents, including my brother and sister-in-law, actually more my brother, the kids got to go to school and they got to go to bed and you're going to interrupt their sleep schedule. It's all complete nonsense. But this is a mainstream kind of thought process. And that's why the tickets are a lot cheaper because a lot of people don't want to drag their kids out on the weeknight. Antonio says, imagine we get O'Reilly or Cairo. I cannot. That would be great. But I just, where's the money coming from? We're going to have to figure out how to get rid of some money when Kovacevic comes back. But you know what? Like I just said before to somebody else, like we'll probably never be fully healthy at once. And so there could be LTIR money at play here. Who knows? It's just that the injuries don't stop. Tasha said, my mother accompanies me to every game and she doesn't want to spend her birthday at a Devils game for whatever reason. Oh, I guess because it's already like it's common to her. So there's nothing really special about it because it's something she already does a lot of. Probably. That's just me kind of guessing. Bobby, you asked this like an hour ago and I answered you. You must have left your phone or whatever you did. Then you came back and you're like, he never answered me. I answered this, Bobby. I said, I have no idea. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. But it looks like, at least from this point of the season, that I am poised to shatter my single season attendance record, I would think. So it's quite possible that I will be there. Devil Heaven likes the vitamin water. Justin C. Stop the injuries. If only it were that easy. Selected Boy, liquid IV is a powdered supplement. Okay. I thought Cairo was healthy. Was it Cairo that I heard got healthy scratched, or was it somebody else? There was a fairly big name that I heard was healthy scratched, but I don't remember if it was it Cairo or was it Cairo? Now I got to look it up. Let's see if those kids are sleeping over there. If they're just making an appearance. Electrolytes make the water more watery, like more hydrating. Great in the summer. I get dehydrated super easy, so it's a game changer. You don't want to get dehydrated. Are the kids sleeping at your house? By the way, you're live on the air. You're live. They're staying over? Okay. Yeah, I just want to double check. What'd he say? Did he ask me if I saw the Devils win? Oh, he's hilarious. Did I see the Devils win? I was at the arena, dude. All right. I'll see them in a little bit. What? Oh my God. Tell your grandmother to text me that right now. Text me. Bye. This guy never, obviously those of you with kids or, whatever kids related to you, if you ever tell them you're giving them something or you have something for them, at least my guys, nonstop will ask about it. I might not hear from them for a week or two if it wasn't for I had something they had coming to them. I found some old Michael Jordan cards, and my nephew I made the mistake of showing them to him on FaceTime, and now he's been blowing me up ever since trying to get them. Cairo rumors are going to pump back up. I would love to Cairo, obviously. He's a guy I've been high on. He has a bunch of years left on his contract. Super team-friendly number. But I think he would get a ton in trade. But again, guys, where are we getting this money from? It's fun to fantasize about getting all these guys. But how are they fitting under the cap? Big trade coming, healthy scratch. Ooh. I'm just busting your chops, Bobby. Don't be so sensitive. It was Cairo. Okay. I'm curious. I'm sure there'll be a ton of teams in on him. Devil Heaven says, is your wife single? I certainly don't have a wife. I'm talking to my mom. She has my brother's kids over there, so I'm going to go see them and smack them around a little bit. Lex says, last time I checked, Ace didn't have a wife. That is correct. Tasha, where are we getting this money from? Palat traded in LTIR. It's possible. I wasn't married. Honky Lips. Ace, you remind me of so many of my buddies growing up in Jersey. This is very entertaining to me. Great stuff. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Honky Lips. Where did you grow up in Jersey? What time is it now? 5:23. Oh my God. Yeah, it feels much later than that. And the getting dark at 5 o'clock thing really sucks. That really, really sucks. Did I hit the no? James just got home with a game. Allen was a wall. I got worried about Nico with that block. Yeah, so did I. When I saw him, he immediately popped his helmet off and walked down the tunnel, and I was like, "Oh no!" I was talking with the dude next to me. He's probably not watching this, but shout out to Matthew from Paris. Met a dude from Paris who lives in New York. Became a Devils fan. He said he went to a Rangers. This is a true story. He said he went to a Rangers game at the Garden. Cheers to all you guys. This one brought to you by Surfside. This thing's hissing. Lemonade. Oh, it's lemonade. This is a lemonade variety, Surfside. He lives in New York City. He said he went to a Rangers game. He thought the crowd was kind of whack. Didn't really like it. And then he went to a Devils game and he was like, I like this better. And then he became a Devils fan. So shout out to Matthew from Paris. Evan says, Ace, hey, Ace, great win today. Absolutely, it was. Beautiful win. I will take the 2 points any way we could get them. Ugly, pretty, anything in between. 2 points is 2 points, and the boys are undefeated at home. And it feels good. It feels so good to be undefeated at home. Yeah, dark is early. Yeah, it's terrible. I hate it. The single thing I hate most about it, I mean, I hate the cold too, but the dark stuff, brutal. I'm a summer guy. I'm a summer kid. Honky lives Elmwood Park, Bergen County. Very nice. John Fay, Ace. What is this? Ace's wife is the New Jersey Devils. I'm just saying he's married to the Devils since he's very devoted. I don't know about all that, but Tosh, Dilly appreciation comment. Great start to the season. I mean, Dilly, guys, Dilly is a throwback warrior. They do not make them like Brendan Dillon anymore. The last of a dying breed. They're not quite an endangered species. Or, sorry, they're not quite extinct, but they're certainly an endangered species. Brendan Dillon lays a monster hit and then drops the mitts, and he's like, let's go, put up your dukes. What a sequence of events for Brendan Dillon. Heavier, edgier, more violent. And I want to go on a deep run and see Dilly lift a cup as a Devil so bad with that amazing flow of his, just whipping in the winds, pumping the cup. It'd be phenomenal. Brendan Dillon, throwback warrior. M Sharp, Ace is definitely the cool uncle. I tell my nephews all the time, I'm like, first of all, I'm like, do you know how cool your uncle is? I'm like, do you know how cool your other uncles are? They really lucked out. They have 4 uncles. I guess 5 now. 5 uncles? I can't keep track. But blood uncles, myself, and then their mother's 2 brothers who are younger than me, but they're very cool kids. I'm a good chunk older than them. So I've known them since they were like little ass kids. They're almost like my little brothers. But my nephew's got, really cool uncles across the board. And then their 2 aunts married cool guys too. So they're very spoiled in that department. They know though. They know because they see some other parents and family members and stuff at the baseball games and the school and all that. And they know. Kids, once they hit a certain age, they realize exactly what's going on. Victory drinks, Garrett. Let's go. Tastes so much better than loser beverages. Unofficial sponsor, I suppose. Matthew, what the hell does that say? I can't read that. Is that Parlay Frasse? I don't know. Alex says Rangers crowd is whack and we are better. The proof is in the pudding. It's a very corporate environment. I mean, that's what happens when your tickets are, very unaffordable. Best team in the league. It's right. Number 1. Maria says winning is addictive. It certainly is. It certainly is. Double Heaven says Dilly is a hybrid. Old days, new days. Tasha, people were really saying we needed to trade Dilly. Who's laughing now? Probably, if anything, looks better this season. Oh, he certainly looks better this season, but they pull out the charts and whatever, and decide to hate. You're never gonna make me hate a guy like Dilly. I don't give a damn what your charts say. John Fay, Dilly got the best in that tilt as the other guy didn't even throw a punch. I think he just did it to try to stick up for his teammate, but then it quickly looked like he realized that he made a fatal mistake, and he kind of switched to just trying not to die. It's kind of what it seemed like. He was like, just survive. Just don't leave this game on a stretcher or in an ambulance, and that's a win. Which is, it's a pretty smart maneuver, in my opinion. Dylan turns 35 next week. Legend. Love Dilly. 1,000th game coming up. 1,000th game alert. Tasha, Dilly is the best warrior on top of that. Like the seemingly nicest guy. Yeah, very nice guy. Very, very nice guy. Nicole wants to know what everyone's thoughts are on Glendening. I'm a big Glendening guy. I think most people here are, but with anything, you have different viewpoints. Tasha says, damn, yeah, they're lucky. I really don't get shit from my aunts and uncles. I guess only from my one uncle, really. It also obviously benefits them that I don't have any kids. I would still spoil the shit out of them even if I had kids. But not having kids on top of it adds to it. And then their other uncles are like, I want to say like 25 and 28, and they don't have kids yet. So they spoil them too. So they're just getting it from and young kids are very manipulative. They know what buttons to press and how to get what they want. So they're constantly scheming, whether it's for, soda, candy, bring me this place. I want you to buy me this, open your Amazon account. These kids know it all. And they are A-plus schemers. A-plus schemers, my guys are. Tasha says, Glendening has been great and he's surprisingly fast. James, I was supposed to bring my sister and 2 kids to the game today, but my oldest niece had an issue with high blood pressure, so they canceled. I hope she's okay. 4 Directions dinner going to taste better tonight. Winning cures all. Honky Lips stuck up for his teammate. Much respect to him. Yeah. And then he was like, why did I try to fight this animal? He's like, shit, please don't kill me, Mr. Dillon. M. Sharp, I was praying Dilly did break a hand. Didn't break a hand. He had a great downward angle throwing his punches. 1,000th game is coming up. Glendening, solid, great bottom depth. Let's go Devils, 95, 2000, 2003. Ace, what have your thoughts been on Lemico? Doesn't do much, is solid on the faceoff dot. I think that's kind of what, he was brought here to do. Like, he's not going to wow you or his stats aren't going to jump off the page. It's like, can you contribute in these few ways and not be a liability? He was originally brought in to be the 4C. And he played a little bit of 3C for the past, couple weeks. And then Cody Glass came back. Hold on, my mom's texting me something. Shit, now I got to try to find these cards for this kid. I should never showed him the cards. That was my mistake. Fatal mistake. James says, kids are easy to bribe. Just give them candy. Sometimes that works. Sometimes they're like, bring me to Target. I'm like, what? It's like, yeah, I want to get something at Target. I mean, Target basically has like a ton of toys now. Devil having Glendening experience, possibly a trade piece going forward. I don't think so. I think he's going to be a depth piece. A depth piece that will be waiting in the wings for an opportunity again if someone gets hurt. Tasha says, Lemico is better than I thought. Honestly, faster for sure. I thought he'd be worse. Who at this point is the weakest link? I don't know. I mean, you're talking about regulars? Are you talking about regulars or like people that played today? Because if you're talking about today, you're going to be talking about guys that wouldn't be in the lineup if we weren't so injured. James, I saw Don LaGreca leaving the Prudential Center. I yelled, Don, put a pitchfork in this one. Devils win. He looked at me, humped, and gave me a thumbs up. Nice. Don's the man. Alex said, come to X amount of games and the cards are all yours. He wants to go to the games. My brother's a pain in the ass. It's a whole story. They want to go to the games, though. But unfortunately, I can't just steal them. I thought about it, though. John Fay says, Devils haven't. I don't think there is a weakest link at the moment. As of right now, all four lines seem to be rolling. Ryan's back. How about those Devils? How about those Devils? Tosh, the worst part is that in a few years, all that money spent on toys useless. Like, I remember begging for all these toys. They're not just sitting collecting dust I probably only played with for 3 years. I don't like to buy toys. I try to buy kids, like, something at least slightly more practical than toys. But kids like what they like, so I get it, too. I mean, I'm guilty of buying them the garbage stuff that they ask for, even though I know it's stupidity. Faye, as long as all four lines keep rolling, I don't think there will or is going to be a weakest link. M-Sharp, especially MJ cards, your nephew probably already has a buyer of them. He might. He's always looking stuff. I'll be like, what is this worth? How much is this? I think they're just like commons. I don't think I had any like crazy inserts because these are from when I was like super young. So I wasn't buying like high-end Jordan cards, although I wish I had, because whatever was high-end then is like ridiculously high-end now. Some random inserts are just, you know, these graded cards have become just so insane. I bought some more merch today that I didn't need. I have a problem, guys. I need to go to like Devils merch rehab. One day I'm going to try to shoot if anyone cares to see it, I might do like the Devils apparel video of just all the shit I've accumulated over the years. It's absurd. Sneaking the kids out of Mama Ace's house to the Devils game live. Mama Ace is a wimp. She'll be like, I don't want to be an accomplice. Yeah, they're very business savvy for young kids. One is 8, and he's a few months away from 9, but he's like 8, you know, almost 8, almost 9, and the other guy is 6.5. No such thing as too much merch. I don't know. I think now. I think it's more than a full closet. An entire closet of just Devils shit. I think it's a little excessive, but you know, I like what I like. I like what I like. Wait, you want to see this? I'll show you the sick hat I bought. Give me 1 second, then I'll start winding this down. Let me get a little more smart water. This is kicked. You got to support the team. Surfsides go down by water, by the way. If Surfsides existed when I was in college, I don't think I would have made it. It would have been a wrap. We would have probably had some stupid challenge night where it was like, who could drink 60 first? They go down like water. Ryan, of course there's no doomers. All right, let me toss these Surfsides. I'm going to show you the sick hat. Be right back. It's just a New Jersey-based company, Jetty. They've done collabs with the Devils, like a ton of them. $50 for a hat, by the way. My God, getting whacked over the head. But Jetty Devils. You got the little weird Jetty thing on the side, but they had this logo on a hoodie or something last year, I think. I didn't get that one. Maybe it was a T-shirt only. I think I'm drawing the line. I think I'm only getting hoodies and sweatshirts from now on because I trash T-shirts. Hoodies are forever. T-shirts are not. But this logo is just sick. This Devils logo with the the nature elements here, the beach, the waves, and the sun there. This was an immediate purchase. I got some hoodies too, but I threw the bag in my bedroom and ran over here. So, Honky Lips, Angry Orchard with a shot of honey whiskey mixed in. So far, it's been lucky home post-game drink. When you stay drinking that, John, I don't think it's a problem. It's Cord supporting the team. Tasha, honestly, if anyone had to watch and be you, like all the signed photos, maybe there isn't space for it. One day I'm going to have my Devils Museum. You will see. You will see when the Devils Museum breaks ground. I will have a massive opening party of some sort. It's going to be legendary. Ryan says, I don't see any doomers. They went into hiding. Tosh, your Devils collection must be worth a diabolical amount. Probably. Honky Lips. I bought a shadow box frame for hockey jerseys, but everyone in the house is wearing the same jerseys. Now it's taking up space. 13 child. I couldn't afford Surfsides when I was in college. It is insane how much they are. Aren't they like a few dollars each, even when you buy them in bulk? It is insane. Like, wild stuff. Surfsides are the most delicious canned beverage out there on the market today. They go down like water. Pro Player and CCM made some great stuff. Garrett, that hat is nice. Saw it on the Devils Instagram page. Super nice. Tosh, I went with my dad to the Devil shop, and there was some $50 Carhartt cap he was looking at. Oh, yeah, there was a Carhartt. Was it Carhartt in that company 47? Crazy prices. John Fay, seeing the hat, just brought a sick but may never happen jersey idea. How about the Devils logo, but instead of red, it's got the shore instead, so it's like a Jersey Shore and a logo. Well, that's kind of what this logo is on this hat. I don't think they'll ever do it. Honky Lips, nice hat. My large noggin doesn't do well with snapbacks. I have a massive head too, but snapbacks seem to be okay for me. I don't like. I think my favorite snapbacks I could wear backwards. Then, depending on the shape or whatever, it may be hard for me to wear it forwards. But for forwards hats, I think my favorite is the flex fit. Oh, shit. My steps are low, kids. And I did like laps around the arena, too. Oof. Not going to hit the goal today. This is very upsetting. And I ate 17,000 calories. This is not good. Tasha said, I'll be at the grand opening. SST would probably fly out and then try to steal shit. You're probably right. M-Sharp, very nice hat. Thank you. The good folks at Jetty make some really nice stuff. Nicole, you should do a video. Give us a tour of your Devils collection. Seems like you have some cool stuff. I talked about this in the past. I might do like a couple items at a time. There's just way too much to do like one video. But like, do I have anything cool over here? That I haven't shown? Let's see. Did I ever show this? I'm trying to figure out. I have to reframe this. Oh, shit. But this is a sick piece. This is like a Marty art, like lithograph. A young Martin Brodeur. That's his old school pad setup, too. Yeah, it's young Marty. That's like 94, 95 Marty, maybe even 93, 94. We got the cup. We got the Calder Trophy as Rookie of the Year. But I like this one. Signed by Marty. I remember wanting this when I was a kid. And then I couldn't find it for a while. And then I found it a couple years ago. Love it. Love it! Oh, shit. It's almost time for Mike Peluso to air. Tasha, my thick, wavy, medium length hair doesn't vibe with any hats. Hate the triangular look. Pine Barrens. Tasha, I want to see a collection video. Some of that stuff is crazy cool. Thank you. John Fay, I wouldn't mind seeing some of Ace's Devils collection besides all the important stuff. Eric, how's Allen not your number one going forward after this game? I mean, listen, he might be. What does number one mean to you? Everyone has a different kind of definition, right? I mean, if Jake Allen plays 6 of the next 10 games, are you going to say he's the number one? What are you using as the metric to determine? Thank you, sir. Thank you. Marty is king. John Fay has beautiful picture art. Young Marty, before he entered his prime time and became the greatest netminder of all time. That's just true. Thank you. Thank you. Natural Canopy, what's going on? Went out on my boat and had the game on Big W, Jake the Snake. All right, guys, that's it. That's it. Appreciate you all. As always, thank you for coming out. Our beloved New Jersey Devils taking down the Pittsburgh Penguins by a score of 2-1 via the shootout. Paulie Cotter and Bratter getting it done in the shootout to give the Devils the big dub. Jake Allen stops 2 of 2 shooters. Life is grand. Life is golden. The Devils are undefeated on home ice. Absolute beast mode. Have won 2 in a row. Looking to make it 3 and to stay unbeaten on home ice. Yeah, I mean, wow. And after Monday, they're on the road for a couple weeks. So that means they would be literally unbeaten at home at a minimum until like late November if they win Monday. Philip, thank you for the super. This is the cover, the 4.62% of the hat. Let's go Devils. Good night. Thank you, Philip. Appreciate it. Selected boy, peace out. Let's go Devils. Faye, see you Monday, Ace. All right, yeah. So hopefully they keep it going Monday. I'm gonna see if I'll go to that game or not. I don't know. But hit the thumbs up on your way out. Reminder: the Mike Peluso interview is premiering at 6:30. I will be in the chat. I'm sure there'll be some of you in the chat. I'll see some of you there in a little bit. I have to go prepare and do a couple things before I go smack my nephews around, and they're going to extort me for more items that they want. So I got to go take care of all that. I've been kind of blowing them off for a couple days. But the Devils with a big 2-1 win in the shootout. Love to see it. Number 1 in the NHL once again. Let's give it up for our beloved New Jersey Devils, guys. Number 1 in the freaking league. November 8th, and then we're number 1 in the league. That's awesome. Hit the thumbs up on your way out. Lots of stuff in the works. As always, check out Mike Peluso premiering 6:30. And that's it. What a day. What a season thus far. Thank you all for watching. I love you all. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go Jeff.